Hey guys, it's YOU WACK, and once in a while, we always have a hero come around to completely dominate the meta to the point where that's not only the must-pick hero, but that's the hero that you always play around. Some might remember the most infamous hero of all time, Brigitte, creating the GOATS meta that completely dominated a whole entire season in the Overwatch League. And while this hero that I'm going to be talking about in this video probably won't reach the level of Brigitte because she quite literally changed how Overwatch functioned to the point where Rogue Q was added just to counter her own meta, it's getting very close. And the hero that I'm talking about that could ruin Overwatch 2 if something isn't done quickly enough is, of course, Sojourn. Sojourn is one of the 3 launch heroes with Overwatch 2, where we got our first look of her back in the alpha of Overwatch 2. And ever since that alpha, she's either been one of the top or the DPS hero to play due to the fact that she not only has one of the most consistent DPS output, but most importantly and most infamously, she has a railgun shot that grants you an insta-kill if you charge up her shots, and pair that up with her abilities like her slide that grants her wiggle room away from dive tanks like Winston and Diva, and her electric ball that gives her protection away from dive DPS heroes like Genji and Tracer. Combining all those things together, you have a recipe for a hero that is not going to be contested and dying very easily, and she's going to be killing all of her ops. She's going to be killing everybody that's on the enemy team. And to make matters even worse, for the up-and-coming update where they're going to have a bunch of hero changes, Sojourn is not one of those heroes. Genji's receiving nerfs, Sombra's receiving nerfs, which are 2 very popular DPS heroes, but the most popular DPS hero right now that's not only dominating the Overwatch League, but also dominating the ladders both in higher and soon to be lower brackets is not receiving any changes. This is quite literally a hero that has maximum Riz, and we gotta stop her, my brothers. Why? Why do I want to ruin the fun of all the Sojourn mains? Because you guys know my philosophy when it comes to hero balancing. I think we should make every hero better, not make every hero worse, because that makes the game more fun to play. But eventually there comes a hero that dominates the meta, not only because they're super powerful, but because it's super easy to unlock their power. When it comes to heroes like Genji and Tracer and even Widowmaker, the reason why they're not always dominating the meta is due to the fact that, well, maybe there's a counter for them, but also to the fact that not everybody can just simply pick them up and play them and automatically win the game. You actually have to play them and practice them. That's called a skill gap. And to Sojourn's credit, there is still some of those skill gap elements that I mentioned before. Well, you still have to, well, aim well with them to be able to not only get consistent DPS to build up your railgun shot, but then also hit that railgun shot. And shoot, even more to Sojourn's credit, there is still some of those insta-kill abilities in the game, most notably with Widowmaker and Hanzo. But what I argue when it comes to those heroes is that there's downsides to being able to use those insta-kill abilities. With Widowmaker, you have to stand still and wait for your shard to charge. When it comes to Hanzo, goddamn, why haven't we deleted Hanzo yet? For Sojourn, the only downside to using railgun shots is that if you waste it, you gotta get more DPS. Oh no, you gotta do more of your job as Sojourn and get more shots. So really, the argument that I and many other people have when it comes to nerfing Sojourn is that this is a hero that's just way too easy for anybody to pick up and do well with. And once again, we want to have good heroes in Overwatch. Like, we want to make every hero good, but we want to ensure that the player is good with the heroes, not because the hero is making the players good. So that's the philosophy I want to have when trying to figure out Sojourn changes. It's not to ruin Sojourn main's time, which I know a lot of people that click on this video think that I'm going to suggest. No, it's trying to ruin the times of people that have 5 minutes on Sojourn but can just simply press Q and instantly JFK anybody just due to the fact that you get 6 or 7 insta-kill railgun shots at your disposal. And the first nerf that I see a lot of people suggest is to lower the time that the railgun percentage is made available. At any point, whether you charge it up to 5% or 100%, you have 8 whole seconds until that railgun percentage starts to lower itself. Having that 8-second window causes so many issues. First and foremost, the fact that you can cheese the railgun time. So while you do have 8 seconds before that time starts to deteriorate, to prevent that, all you gotta do is shoot an enemy, or what a lot of people do, shoot a shield just one time to reset that 8-second timer. But another reason why having that 8-second window is very bad is the fact that you're able to use your slide to position yourself to get an advantage spot to be able to instantly kill Squishy in the back line. And in that time, you did not lose a single percentage of your shot, either A, because you have 8 freaking seconds, or B, you shot the shield one time and you maintain your percentage. So I think lowering the time frame from 8 seconds to possibly even like 6 seconds, or what a lot of people are suggesting 4 seconds, I don't think would be that big of a change for Sojourn mains to adapt to because, well, you still have the power to get an insta-kill, you just now gotta like time it out a lot more quicker. But if we don't want to lower the 8-second window time, the least that we can do is to ensure that you can't reset the 8-second window time by simply shooting a shield. Now, I still think you should be able to reset your 8-second window by shooting an enemy because we want to ensure that good players are motivated to hit their shot. And if they're motivated to reset their 8-second window, then okay. But by cheesing it, by shooting a Winston shield, which anybody can do, I don't think should be something in the game. But the next nerf idea is involving her ultimate because this is another aspect that people are arguing makes Sojourn so easy is that you press Q, you get 7 100 charge shots, and that means 7 opportunities to insta-kill 4 squishy heroes because you can't insta-kill a tank. Like, just to put it in perspective how powerful Sojourn's ultimate is, Genji has the same amount of swipes with his blade as Sojourn has shots, but the difference between Genji and Sojourn is that Genji has to pair it up with his dash to get a lot of damage, and he also has to be right in front of the enemy. Sojourn can be in the far back. So we have 2 options, well technically 3 options when nerfing her ultimate. We could lower the damage, but we shouldn't really be doing that because that hurts Sojourn mains that are actually good with the hero, or we can lower the time that it takes to charge back up to 100 when using her ultimate, or we could just lower the time at which the ultimate lasts. I'm more in favor of lowering the percentage that it takes to get to 100%, mainly because this gives you enough time to realize, oh no, our Mercy literally got Abraham Lincoln. We gotta protect either our team from the Sojourn or dogpile on the Sojourn before she gets another 100% shot and shoots our Kuriko. But one other nerf that I thought of that could allow DPS heroes to try to contest the Sojourn is to somehow nerf her electric ball. One aspect about her electric ball ability is that any enemy that walks through it is slowed down. So what happens is whenever a Genji or a Tracer goes and dives to Sojourn, you just throw the electric ball on yourself and it kind of makes them passively push away from you, allowing you to not only, well, get protection from the ball, but slide out there with your electric slide. So if we were to remove the slow aspect of her electric ball, I think would allow for a lot more contestments, or is contestment even word? It'll allow for people to dive the Sojourn, specifically the squishy heroes, without having a fear of not only dying, because that's also an aspect about the electric ball, and truth be told, I think that's also another conversation that we can have, is lowering the damage of the electric ball, but at least if we got rid of the slowdown effect within the ball, that can allow for a few more heroes to be available to be not only be played, but also go and contest the Sojourn. But if we did want to lower the damage of the electric ball, or disruptor shot if you actually call it that, from 210 to like say something like 150 or 100, I don't think that would be that harsh of a nerf, mainly because if you're relying on this ability to get most of your damage and most of your eliminations, then you're not relying on a skill aspect of Sojourn. We want to keep the skill intact for Sojourn. That's why I don't want to lower the damage for her primary shots or even her railgun shots, but for the people that cheese Sojourn or just have a very easy time to get those insta-kill shots, that's why I want to nerf, and that's why I want to talk about in this video. And let me know what you think about my changes or what you think that we should do with Sojourn, because truth be told, if something isn't done fast, this could be a hero that could ruin Overwatch 2, but we'll just have to see. So I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch 2 videos to come, and bye.